everyone. So, bit of an update. I've been sanding. So, all of that filler is sanded down now. The roof is sanded down, ready for primer. So what I'm going to do is quickly wrap the car. I've already masked off the important edges, ready for the wrap. So I've also sanded this wing because there was some rust in it, which we dealt with months ago, and it's just been in primer. So I've done bits of that. We'll just sort of just gently touch that in. It's not going to look wonderful, but so yeah, let's get some car wrap on it, and then wipe it down. And what I'd really like to do today, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so it's getting on a bit. But I would like to get some primer on this, because then at the weekend, because it's Tuesday now, at the weekend I should be able to top coat it, flat it down and top coat it. Of course, as ever, this job is complicated by having the world's smallest garage. It's so much better than newspaper. It really is. Okay, let's start opening some of this up. Where this stuff is just magic is the way it just clings. As before on this project, all of the paint supplies I got from KRS, which is stands for Kent Refinishing Supplies. They are just amazing guys in over there in Ashford. Very well priced. Nothing's too much trouble, and they are very generous with their time and advice. You know, when as a complete amateur you wander into a professional paint suppliers, they in some respects have got every right to start rolling their eyes to heaven and going, oh my god, here we go, another one. But actually, far be it from anything like that, they are incredibly helpful. Even, for example, being concerned that because I got paint from them last year for the engine bay, and it was a very good match. They even took the trouble to look the job up on the computer and make sure that they gave me the same, not just the same paint code, because you know that's obvious, but paint made by the same paint company, the same mixing system, so that there wouldn't be any variation. For a DIYer walking in off the street, that's service over and above. Okay, there's 2 layers of plastic over that roof now to try and stop me painting the interior, but I bet some still gets in there. Right, let's give it a wipe down and we'll make some... Oh, actually, no, I've just remembered this. One more job I need to do. This will give you an idea of just how bad the paint is on this roof. See what I mean? It's not exactly a world-class job. This is 4 to 1 to 1. Never again will I make the mistake of not putting thinners in it. That was definitely something to learn by. The other mistake I will never make is when putting the lid on like that, just to lift it up and make sure it's attached. Because I put a pot of this all over the floor once, last time. Right. That's ready to go. Tack cloth. Last sanity check. Right, let's give that 15 minutes and give it another one. Oh, forgot the bloody sunroof. This primer goes on like Artex, so thick. Well, that's what I want. I want to be able to flat it off and get it smooth. You wouldn't know there was some holes in that roof the other day. Right, don't look at it, don't touch it, don't play with it. Walk away from it for a quarter of an hour. I'll be back. Right, that's had 15 minutes to flash off. It looks orange peely, but it's got to be flatted off anyway. I don't want it too thick around the edges because I've got to try and blend it in. Anyway, I'll clean the gun and I think we call it a day for today. Not touch it, not muck about with it, leave it. So yeah, that was priming the roof. Depending on how much footage there is here, there might be another video of me painting the roof, or the painting might happen in a minute. We don't know. So, guess you'll find out in a second. Right, morning everyone. So, a few seconds ago, you saw me primer the top of the car and the sunroof. In reality, that was 4 days ago. It's now the weekend, and we're ready to flat this primer off, and today, top coat and clear coat. Because as with the engine bay, once you start, you've got to go through the whole lot. So you top coat, then you give it 15 minutes, you do another top coat, you give it 15, 20 minutes to flash off, and then you clear coat 2 or 3 coats over that. I'm thinking clear coat, I probably want to go at least 3, because it's about 10 degrees outside, so it's not as warm as it could be. I'm assuming the finish I'm going to get is going to need a lot of buffing, possibly even a light sanding to get it good. So I'm not trying for a gun finish, because I mean, look at the state of the place. There's going to be muck in it, you know. I haven't got anywhere else to do it. It's going to be a rough finish. So I'm going to have to. So I want to put enough clear coat on there that I get to be able to buff it off. So let's have a look at what it looks like. I mean, the primer looks orange peely, which is what I expected. It did go on very thick. So let's have a see what it looks like. I have tea. That's tea, Gabby. So drink a cup of tea. Friend of mine, Gabby, who watches these, says that every time I mention tea, it forces us to go and make a cup of tea. So she's now running off in the direction of the kettle, which is great. So we'll just rub this down and just start to see what kind of finish we can expect. Gloves are on so I don't get oils from my skin on the finish. Okay, that's blocking down quite nicely, but I can immediately see we need a guide coat. So that'll help us see any low spots, because if there's any, when it's sanded, if there's any black left, it must be in a low spot. So it really does help show where the low spots are. I always thought guide coat was a bit of a professional's bit of snake oil, but it does work. Look at that. You can see exactly where that low spot is. Basically, I'm practicing on this sunroof panel so I can get it wrong, because if I have to repaint it, it's not too much of a problem. Whew. Putting a hoodie on was a bad idea. Okay, that looks like it's got all the low spots out of it. That's left a lovely smooth finish. Even though we took quite a lot off, that's a lovely finish ready for top coat. Now I've just got to do the rest of the car. Okay, this is really quite orange peely. So I think we'll break out machinery. Okay, that has got it nice and smooth. There's still a little bit of playing about to be done. For example, I've got to blend these sides in a bit more, and I've got a couple of burn throughs which are going to need just a little touch more primer on them, but I'll do that wet. So I'll do that wet on wet. Okay, so I think we're there now. Tack cloth. I've washed it, or white panel wiped it down again. Gone over it with a tack cloth again. So I think we're kind of in that bit where we've just got to do it. I'm getting bits all over it from that. That's horrendous. Well, that was nothing short of horrendous. I ended up blowing loads of crap all over it. What we're going to have to do is let that flash off and then go over it with a bit of 1000 grit, just to make sure we get those out. The lesson I think I learned here is between primer and top coat, you rebag the car. Leaving it bagged up was a bad idea. It's going to look better than it did. We give it quarter of an hour and we give it another one. Right, time for some clear coat. Okay, we'll give it 15 minutes and then do it again. Voiceover Darren here. The microphone's failed at this point, so we're just putting another couple of coats of clear coat on there, and then I'm just talking to camera, saying that it really doesn't look as bad as you think it looks, and please don't hate me in the comments. I am of course a total amateur, and it looks better than it did. There aren't two whacking great holes in the roof anymore, and we were just trying to make it look vaguely presentable. So anyway, this has been a video of watching paint dry, but if you just like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next one.